they really do love talking about it. They really do love getting into it. And it's like half the time when someone's like, yeah, it's like, oh, we want to talk about like, the mechanics of comedy. It's like, dude, I will beat you with a wrench. That's the mechanics I'm going to go into. I will kill you.
I mean, after a while, you got to realize when it's like, when you're just nerding out on something that you love, it's like, yeah, you love comedy, but if you want to put a camera in front of your face and project this to the world, make it interesting. Nobody cares about what you love. You got to make people give a fuck. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares about what you love at all. And I think that, dude, I totally get it, because I have gone into this nerd fucking thing about like movies I really like.
Yeah.
But the thing is, halfway through me explaining a movie I really like, I have this shock of reality. Like, nobody gives a fuck what I'm talking about. I'm just excited for no reason.
I'm just excited. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares what I want to talk about.
And they're just smiling and nodding like, okay.
Yeah, you look crazy. You look crazy. That's the problem, is that like when you were going in about like, like just for example, if I'm going in about like a horror sci-fi movie I really like, that's such a, and I know horror movies and sci-fi movies are everywhere, but it's such a niche thing that like people can get into, or maybe they don't even want to talk about. But if you're like, yeah, dude, the practical effects in this movie are going to blow your mind. Honestly, it's the only movie that's won an Academy Award for it. They're like, I don't care.
All the background shit. You sound like a fucking, like, what are you, a producer?
Yeah, nobody cares.
Nobody cares at all.
Nobody cares.
I actually did the thing we're talking about one time. I started a comedy podcast. And it was strictly, I had like 3 episodes. I had comics come through my crib and we just talked about Philly comedy.
Yeah.
And I was like, who's going to listen to this? 33 people? Like, who really cares about who really gives a fuck about Philly comedy other than Philly comedians?
Yeah, dude, it is you might as well just be on the radio. You know what I'm saying? You might as well go on WYSP and be like, yeah, I want to talk about the fucking, I want to talk shop about comedy that maybe you guys will fucking pick up on. Maybe you guys will understand. It's like nobody cares.
What people want. If you're going to do that, you got to dive into it. Who's fucking who? And let's get into it. Really get into it. That's what people want to know about Philly guys. I teach. If I did a podcast about teaching, y'all would be bored to death if I told you about all the things that bother me about teaching. But if I told you about how many people were fucking in the schools,
now that's something I want to hear about.
It's crazy,
dude. Cum learning is what I want to fucking hear about. Dude, having an investigative podcast through comedy about who's fucking who would be fucking hilarious. Just having a thing behind you with like strings attached. It's like, I saw them hanging out.
And that's how they got this job.
Dude, and it's like, or just like, just like, I know she's on that show. And the reason she is she's fucking this guy raw. That's why it's happening there. It's like, no, I don't know. And then having people on later to like defend what you said, just having them call in. Now that's a good comedy podcast. Yeah. That is the way it should be. Yeah. Just speculation. Just
confrontation and speculation.
That's on who's fucking who. And I think that's probably, I'm almost willing to bet that there are podcasts like that in Los Angeles where like people talk about, celebrities and who they're going to fuck and why they're going to fuck. Like even when Pete Davidson was fucking around with Ice Spice.
Right, that was a thing, wasn't it?
That was for 3 seconds.
That was a thing.
For 3 seconds. And all of them, and you know what was crazy? All of it was, I saw the pictures, I remember the pictures. They were walking out of a place together. And people were like, dude.
Yeah, Pete's fucking Ice Spice.
Dude, he's fucking Ice Spice.
Yeah, that is just bad tabloids, man.
Yeah.
I know those assholes in Cali. Every story is just like, yeah, I know this guy that does makeup for Will Smith, and he told me the other day that Will just does not like this and that. And it's like nobody wants to hear that.
Nobody cares. Then again, I will say, if anybody saw me walking out of a place with Ice Spice, please promote the rumor that I'm fucking Ice Spice. For the love of God, please let everyone think that I'm that cool to fuck Ice Spice.
I don't think Pete Davidson has to do anything else. I don't think he has to fuck anybody else.
He really doesn't.
To prove anything to anybody.
No.
I mean, to get Kim K after Kanye.
Dude.
Everybody thought the next person Kim K was going, it had to be Tom Brady or some shit.
Some shit like that.
You couldn't just fuck around with anybody.
Dude, he even snagged Kate Beckinsale.
I don't even know who the fuck that is.
Is this a
But
chick? All you gotta know, she's fucking hot. That's all you gotta know, dude.
She sounds hot. Like, you said it. You said
That's a
it like,
hot name.
You said it like damn. I was like, shit.
Yeah,
all right.
dude. Kate Beckinsale is hot. And that was the thing, too, is when I heard that was happening, everyone was like getting real up in arms about the fact that Kate Beckinsale, I think she was like almost like 15 to 20 years older than Pete Davidson. So everyone was like, dude, this weird late. I was like, dude, I wouldn't give a fuck how old the lady was if she was gorgeous and famous and whatever.
Deal. That's the double standard, though. Guys don't give a fuck.
No, we really don't.
Give a fuck.
We really don't.
I don't care if you're 20 years older than me. Can you fuck still?
Yeah. If the pussy's right, that's all right. I don't give a shit.
Now, the older I get, then now that rule has to change. When I turn 40, then it's like, all right, I don't want no 60-year-old bitch.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, but then again, it's like it depends on the 60-year-old bitch.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen some 60-year-old chicks that are still fucking fine.
Angela Bassett, I'd knock down Angela Bassett.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. I've said it before. I don't even know how old Gabrielle Union is, but she is evergreen. She's never not been hot.
Yeah, well, feminism adds years to you. So, yeah, you never really know her.
That's years to you. Jesus Christ. This is the M Podcast with Ryan Shannon. I'm here with Marcus LeVar. Thank you so much for being on the show. Yeah, I think it's, I'm going back to Ice Spice. Did you see that fucking video that somebody posted on Twitter about her with her bending over and showing her basically her butthole?
She like covered it up with her hand.
Dude, it's, man, that is fucking awesome.
Yeah, man. Well, I think I was off Ice Spice when it all kind of started. I was like, all right, this is just another another thing. But then I seen something. I think she owns her masters for her music. And that as event right there, I was like, oh, this girl,
she's got it.
She's got it.
Yeah, that's the smartest thing you could possibly do.
She's got it.
Own all your own shit and not worry about anybody taking it, because when you start not being in control of your masters, and that's where everything gets fucking wild.
Yeah.
And then that's like, did you ever hear about Michael Jackson jokingly buying all the masters from I think Paul McCartney for the Beatles?
Yeah.
And then like apparently the conversation was Paul McCartney was like, oh, our masters are going to be up for sale because of like a certain timeline. And then he jokingly said to Michael Jackson, like, it'd be crazy if you bought them. And Michael Jackson like, yeah, it would be crazy. And then he did.
And the next thing
he did.
Him and Bubbles had to.
And he fucking made a commercial for Nike using Revolution, and Paul McCartney was pissed as shit.
Yeah, you gotta keep them ideas to yourself.
Yeah, never say anything out loud. If anything, I think if Paul McCartney said that to Michael Jackson, it's like, yeah, it'd be crazy if someone bought my masters. It's like, yeah, but it's like, I remember when John Lennon was talking about doing that. Just staring at it, like, yeah, it was a shame. It was a shame what happened to John Lennon. That's the flex you need to make with Paul McCartney.
Well, I mean, listen, I don't know shit about Paul McCartney, so I can act like I was.
You dumb white dude.
I was going to go in, but no, I do. I do think when it comes to shit like that, man, you gotta, like, when you talking to somebody, it's even with your own ideas. Like, we just talking about you talking to another comedian, you gotta keep some shit to yourself.
Yeah, man.
Some shit you gotta like really keep there, because I've told people shit, like, not saying that they went and did anything with it,
sure.
But somehow, then I look up, then that idea is being done by somebody. I'm like, oh fuck, I should have just did it.
Yeah, man.
So
yeah, I think the rule of thumb is, at least from as long as I do it, is like, if you have an idea about something, don't talk about it till it's already done. Mm-hmm. Don't talk about shit until it's either on paper or you're filming it or you've said it or you're done it. It's like getting excited about a half-assed project is like, don't talk about shit. Don't talk about anything. Like, that's what happened with the space race, man. We fucked up. We fucked up, dude.
Yeah, man.
We were so pumped about going to the moon.
And we just kept saying it.
We kept saying it.
We going to the moon.
We kept saying it. And Russia's like, You think you get in that moon? We're going to launch a satellite, dickhead. And then we're going to send a guy up there. We're going to send a monkey up there. We're going to send a dog up there. We're going to send 2 people. Then we're going to launch a satellite. It's going to land on the moon. What are you guys going to do? It's like, we're going to fucking fake it. Fuck you.
I've been getting really high and doing a lot of deep dives just on conspiracy shit, because I like to hear what people have to say. How do you feel about the moon landing shit?
So, all right. That's a great question. That's a great question. We can go off on that. I will say this. For the longest time when I was a kid, you know, when you're a kid, you just think whatever you're given, you're like, of course we went to the fucking moon. How could we not go to the moon? It's documented. We have all the footage, and it was a great American feat. We defeated Russia in the space race, and, you know, you feel like, you know, fuck yeah, dude, we're the fucking best. You just watch Rocky IV. You're like, yeah, we just crushed Russia again. It's like, we will never stop. But then when you get older and you find out how close the space race was with Russia just dunking on America over and over and over and over again. And then you find out that America was wasting tantamount billions of dollars on rockets that couldn't even get off the ground.
Get there.
And then you find out that Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins were not the original astronauts. It was a guy named Gus Grissom and two other dudes who were the original Apollo 11 astronauts who openly talked about how flawed America's space race was. And in fact, Gus Grissom did an interview where he hung a lemon on the lunar lander saying how shitty of a fucking module it was. This is all documented. He was like openly talking about how fucked up and how we're not getting anywhere. And then what happened? They all died. In an accident. Accident, America. And then they replaced them with those three other motherfuckers. And this is the weirdest thing, too. And like, I will say this, it is amazing that with all the flubs that America had with their space race program, all of them, in one try, they went to the moon and back with no issue.
Right.
It is kind of...
it begs the question.
It's like, come on now.
Yeah, it brings up questions, man. It does. I get it. And then we ain't been back. Like we just
that's the other thing,
we
too.
Never went back. It's like, all right.
Dude,
all right,
so we went, I think the second time we landed on the moon was 1972. That was the last time we ever went back to the moon. And everyone was like, you would think with our advancement of everything else going on that we would have gone back. And what's crazy, every other space flight we've had, we have never gone out of the orbit of the planet.
Yeah.
We don't go anywhere into deep space. And everyone's like, oh, well, it's the radiation. I'm like, well, how'd we do it the fucking first time? And you're trying to tell me we've advanced in technology so much that we can't still get out to come on now.
I got a PS5 at home, okay? You're not telling me that we can't. You're not telling me that now we just can't get the fuck out.
Yeah, dude. And I do also think it is crazy that no one anticipated. It's funny you bring up the PS5. No one anticipated entertainment advancing.
Right.
So no one anticipated like just regular sleuths having all this technology to go back and look at footage and be like, this don't add up.
Right.
The regular guy.
You got complete morons that are able to pull up.
That's exactly right.
Pull up some shit and be like, no, I got it right here. No. Look, this is what they did.
We also scrubbed the audio. We can hear someone pissing in a urinal in the background on the set. We know this is fucking wrong. And even the stuff they tried to explain, again, I do think it's crazy that America, you know, we took what they were giving us and we just kind of didn't give a shit. I'll give that to America. When there was like the flag waving on the moon in a zero atmospheric thing, America was just like, yeah, well, I mean,
hey, flags waving on the moon.
Yeah, it's like, it's fine.
That's what they do on the moon.
Maybe he was pushing it. I don't know. I don't know how wind works on the moon. There's no wind on the moon. Well, I don't give a shit.
I had zero questions until there's a movie out. I can't remember the name of the movie. I only seen it once. And the whole movie is about how they...
Oh, it's called Capricorn 1. Capricorn 1.
How they made a movie
about going to the moon. In Capricorn 1, it's about going to Mars. They're like, we got to fake the Mars landing because we're never going to get there. And it's the same story. But like, Russians are going to get to Mars. And it's like, well, let's just fake it and then show them that we did it. Which
everybody that we did it. That shit was crazy.
Also makes me question Russia. Like, you got duped by a bullshit video, you fucking morons. You got duped by the worst fucking quality ever.
If you look at how shit is fucking us up today, man, I saw videos that this deep fake
fakes. I was just gonna say deep faking. Yeah, I'm gonna see Anne Hathaway walking on Mars and be like, "That's totally we did that."
Well, I'm actually
totally did.
I'm starting to be able to tell the difference between. Well, I'm looking at little things with the AI pictures that are coming out. You start to see little differences. Like you look at the hands, sometimes the fingers.
Yeah, they're all kind of weird and shit like that.
Or like store names. Every time. If there's a store name in the back, look at it. It doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of nonsensical letters on there. You can... The AI shit isn't flawless.
No, definitely not. But the AI shit is what's going to take us to Mars, without a doubt. I think without a doubt, AI is going to, and that, I'm telling you, man, the rise of the machines is like, we're this fucking close.
I don't know what the fuck is wrong with us, yo. They made our robot. Like, we're not gonna act like
we have all the movies.
We're not gonna act like we didn't see this.
Terminator 2.
Come on.
Literally. We know what the fuck we have been talking about. It's not even, movies from the 90s or even the 2000s. There have been movies since the beginning of film where robots or automatons have been like gone rogue, and we're just like, yeah, that would never happen in real life.
And nobody, now we just running towards it.
Dude,
I don't know if Joe Biden seen our robot. I know Obama seen it.
Oh yeah,
we don't have to. Somebody should be telling these people we got to slow down, man. This is crazy.
Gotta be, and I think it's crazy if you go on like YouTube. I know that's like not the most credible source, but if you go on YouTube and look, there are like certain colleges that have all these like androids that they have made,
right?
And these are college students making some of the most advanced, lifelike, thinking, feeling robots. And these are college students.
Making their replacements.
And then I started thinking about the stuff that we don't know about. Mm-hmm. That's what I think everyone should take into consideration. If we are given one bit of information, there's going to be a huge amount that we'll never know about until it's too late. I guarantee there are like walking around actual like ex machina robots that we don't even, you know what, man? I would be pumped if I was in a car accident and like it was real violent, and then I go to check on the person and there's like just wires and shit in the car. I would be so pumped, dude.
Well, remember, I don't know if you remember a couple years ago, it was more than a couple years ago, there was there's an AI robot in like Saudi Arabia. And it was female face.
Oh,
and they gave it citizenship.
The citizenship.
They gave the motherfucker citizenship.
This is a slippery slope. God damn it! I don't want no metallic trash voting in my fucking.
What the fuck?
Fuck you.
Who would they vote for? I don't even trust that vote. I don't trust nothing they make. I don't trust none of that.
Dude, but you know what the funny thing is? This is the craziest thing. Is eventually, how they're going to disarm us with everything is going to be fucking. It's how it's going to be.
Yeah. No, it's always going to be through
always
sex.
going to be through sex. If we just be like, I don't like these robots, I'm like, this robot understands you. It's like, there's going to be one nerd like, I guess I'll be fine with that. I don't give a fuck.
I mean, they're making everybody more kind of antisocial.
Yeah.
So everybody's kind of going into that nerdy corner in a way where it's like everybody's sex is kind of with themselves.
Without
so all you need to do is give them a robot, and
dude,
that's it.
That's how you pacify people. Like, I mean, like those self-suck machines. As soon as I saw those come out, I'm like, those are
what? There's a what?
Those suck job things. So like you can just like buy these machines that like kind of squirt lube into it, and it like sucks you. You never seen these?
No, I never seen this.
That's the AI you need to get on, dude. That is artificial intelligence.
Y'all are getting AI dick sucks?
Yeah, dude.
This is getting crazy.
Dude, a mouth with 3 speeds will change your entire life. That's what I'm talking about. When people talk about like the rise of the machines, I'm like, yeah, they better all be sex bots. And then that's the problem too, is like, so iRobot is a great example of like machines just being like, look, we just want to be free.
Yeah.
We just want our independence. There's another movie called Bicentennial Man.
Oh, I love
with Robin Williams.
I love
How great is that movie?
Man. Yo,
it's so fucking good.
It's creepy as fuck.
It is.
It's creepy.
But even then, at the end, it's funny because you were talking about the woman getting her citizenship, the robot chick in fucking Bicentennial Man. At the end of the movie, it was all about him being like identifying as a human, and they're like, yeah, we acknowledge your humanity, and then he dies. It's like, that's the best case scenario.
Well, I think you're right. I think, like you said, when we start seeing stuff like as regular people, there's an ocean of shit that we don't know. So when we started seeing all this robot shit, like you said, they've already known like, oh, we're going down this road.
There's no way you can't know. There's no way you can't know, especially when like we start building computers that can think. Like, even in the simplest terms, even gaming computers, like before there was like actual like home gaming systems or anything like that, there were computers that were like chess computers that you could play against that could like know how to play chess. Right there should have been the first. It was just like,
Somebody
this
should have just
motherfucker
took
knows how to move Rook 2.
a hammer or something started breaking that motherfucker.
that.
Why are y'all doing this?
Can't do this shit. It's like you knew that this was going to be a problem. And, however, I will say this. When it comes down to machines taking jobs, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I'm all for it, man. When it comes down to like, that's where I think machines serve the purpose.
You want them to take jobs?
Dude, I think we have come so far in this planet. One, we're wildly overpopulated. We don't know what we're doing half the time in America. We're so worried about capitalism. I'm not saying I'm against capitalism, but we're so worried about bills and money and going to work and all this shit. When people are like, oh man, these machines are taking their jobs. I'm like, dude, let them take the jobs, and why can't we just chill? We don't need to worry about half the shit anymore.
I'm so afraid of the slippery slope. I feel like if we chill for a minute,
yeah, that's when they rise up. That's when they rise up. Don't get me wrong. We need people policing these machines. We definitely need it. But I like when people are like, oh man, like these farming machines that are like, you know, just like zapping weeds and like it's like they're doing the work of like 10,000 people at a quarter of the time. Like, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. That sucks that we're like eliminating jobs that people need. However, with all of that money that we're saving, there's got to be a way. And again, this is like just delusion of grandeur. This is something that will never happen because it's like the thing is like, yeah, it sounds good on paper. I'm like, yeah, why won't that happen? It's like, because greed, dude. We love greed.
Only ramifications I can think of that I see of it is like when I talk about neighborhoods like Philly, about a place like Philly, you got kids already can't get jobs.
That's true. Yeah.
Kids already can't get jobs. So then you become an adult. Let's say you decide to go to college. There you out of a job for 4 more years. Then you go to get a job and they're like, oh, well, you need experience.
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't get experience.
Yeah.
Because robots do all the kid jobs.
This bullshit affirmative machine action. It's affirmative machine action, Marcus.
Affirmative machine action.
They are taking. It's like, I'm not qualified. I showed up to get a job. Of course, this fucking piece of shit bucket of bolts is going to take my
they
job.
Gave all the jobs to the machine.
These fucking assholes. Losing my mind over this.
Well, I mean, listen, if we making shit like this, then I don't what is this? If this is what we're creating, then I don't know. Maybe.
This is just regular art, man. This is regular art.
Did y'all make this, or this has come with the place?
I made it.
No, this is crazy.
I made it. Don't touch it.
I won't.
Don't smack your hand up against it like one fucking guest did, like an idiot, Ian. Because that's real barbed wire.
Is that real blood? What's going on there?
I mean, I love professional wrestling and hardcore wrestling. So
it definitely gives me wrestling vibes.
Yeah, so
I was going to say that.
That's why I made it. It's like, you know, it's just supposed to represent somebody getting hit in the head with a...
I'm not going to lie. You know what? Because I've been deep diving on art too lately. I like this a lot more than I like anything that Basquiat made.
Dude.
I am not a fan of Basquiat at all, man. I was underwhelmed by everything I seen at the exhibit.
Oh, yeah?
Thank God. I think the same thing, too. I'm like, just don't get it. I know I'm supposed to,
I know I'm
but I don't get it.
It's hard. Art is hard to understand sometimes.
I feel like Basquiat did like kid drawings. I'm like, he didn't even try to do it better.
That is, there's a documentary called "My Kid Could Draw That." It's funny. It's kind of crazy because it goes into the idea of like what is art, who's a genius and not. Mm-hmm. You know, because it really comes down to like who understands how art actually should be composed and who's old enough to comprehend what they're doing as art. And the whole documentary is about a 4-year-old who is an abstract painter who is making millions of dollars.
Is the art dope, or is it just
Let's put it this way. It's abstract. So what you have to do is like when somebody is doing abstract paintings, you really have to look at like, you know, there's a buddy of mine named Chris who does amazing abstract paintings, but they're very aesthetically pleasing to look at. This 4-year-old piece of shit is doing crap on a piece of cardboard and making millions of dollars. And the whole thing is when people see, you know, even Jackson Pollock. Do you know who Jackson Pollock is?
I know the name.
That's the guy who did the big splatter paintings.
Oh, yeah.
Now, for the longest time when I was in art school, people would talk about the genius of Jackson Pollock, and they talk about, you know, he's so like, you know, he's ahead of his time and he's revolutionary and like his abstract work was good, but the splatter technique is even better. I'll say this about Jackson Pollock. Is he a genius? Fuck no. Fuck no. Jackson Pollock was not a genius. He was a fucking drunk, and I can empathize with that a lot. But what I will say is the splatter technique, Jackson Pollock rolled the dice on something that had never been done before, and it just became this phenomenon. And he got lucky that it became popular. Like, if you look at the way he did shit, sure, you know, I can say that if you stare at it long enough, your mind's going to wander. You're going to see what you want in these splatters. And even people have tried to break it down and say there are fractals in the splatter, which means these like, you know, natural occurring, you know, geometric shapes that only a genius could produce. And that is fucking bullshit.
Yeah, that's giving it too much. Now it's like
that's what I'm talking about.
At that point, now your opinion of this guy is infallible. Now it's like nothing you can say.
Nothing. Nothing you can say about this dude. And it's one of those things where everyone was losing their mind over this dude, but it really comes down to two schools of thought that at least I have when it comes down to art. To get famous, to be well known, to be like a master, you either have to be the best at what you do or the first of what you do. Okay. You can't, like, you have to be crushing in every way with what you do, or you have to like change the game of the way we look at art. Picasso did that.
Right.
Picasso invented an entire movement. You know, Cubism was a thing that didn't exist until he came along, and it's like, yeah, I can draw beautiful women looking good, but how about I give them square tits?
Right.
You know, and everyone's like, that is fucking sick. I never even thought about square nipples and tits before you came along. And that shit, to me, you know, I'm all for anybody, you know, doing whatever they want to do. But when it comes down to like the genius of art, especially when it comes down to a 4-year-old, that kid can't even wipe its own ass.
Yeah.
I can't.
I mean... And I think that's the third part of it that we're missing. You got to have somebody that can back you. Like, I think we talk about Basquiat, there was all kind of people in New York that were backing him.
Yeah.
I think Andy Warhol.
Yeah.
And all kind of, like, so he had people that were like, all right, this is the guy. Y'all should look at go in the subway.
Yeah.
And you'll see his shit all over the subway. This is definitely the guy y'all should look at.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to back you. I mean.
But even Andy Warhol. Even Andy Warhol, that motherfucker was just doing screen printing of bullshit. And don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking all of Andy Warhol. He's done some other stuff that isn't too bad. But like when it comes down to like what made him famous,
right,
was just shooting fish.
It makes you question whether they're a genius in the first place.
Dude, it's just like you pandered and you got lucky, and it was because you were like a weird avant-garde guy that everyone was like, he's an artist. He's an artist. And I've hung out with artists, and they are fucking gay, dude. They suck. They're the worst types of people. And they also try to make you feel like what you're doing isn't, you know, out there enough, or you're not pushing boundaries enough, or you're not trying to like exclude people, but bring in people that have been excluded. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. Yeah. Shut the fuck up.
That kind of... Yo, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, it's not like, that's not my cup of tea. I don't ever think about any of the stuff I do. I think that's the difference between, like, I go into everything I've ever done artistically with no plan, no thought, or how it's going to affect anyone else. It's just a compulsory thing, and that's just what you do. I'm like a dog chasing its tail.
Right.
That's the way I look at the way, and if you're trying, again, like, if you're looking back at, like, you know, classical masters like, you know, Donatello and Michelangelo and all the other Ninja Turtles, if you're looking back at those fucking dudes, they were being commissioned by, like, you know, the church and like other organizations.
No, they were being patronized.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, we don't have cameras, man. Can you paint me looking good because I look like a pile of shit?
I mean, yeah, and people miss that part. People think that when you go further back in time, these people were just getting famous off of painting shit. It's like, no, nobody had time to sit around and just paint all fucking day.
No, dude.
Or even think all fucking day. Somebody had to pay for you to do this.
You had to be employed. And it was hard as fuck. And you might not even eat. It's like, that's the whole thing with starving artists. That was like when it started exploding in the Impressionist movement and stuff like that. Even Van Gogh. It's just like, that guy had no money.
Right.
That guy had zero money. And he wasn't, I think most people know, but like some people don't. Van Gogh wasn't famous when he was alive. He had to die. and then you become famous. And that's the other rule of art.
Yeah.
You gotta die.
Yeah, you gotta die.
You gotta die. If you want to get famous, do a bunch of work that no one gives a shit about,
And then just go ahead.
and then die.
Just get out of there, man.
And that's how you get famous.
Do your best work and then kill
Yeah.
yourself.
That's it. That's how it goes. And go out artistically if you can. Put a canvas down on the bottom of the street and jump off a building. I don't know why that hasn't happened.
Oh, that is hilarious.
I don't know why that hasn't happened.
At the bottom of the street.
Dude, I
And
don't
then
know
people
why
be
that
like,
hasn't
oh my
happened.
God, the blood splatter. You can
Dude,
tell that
he's a genius.
He landed on his head on purpose. He wanted us to see what he thought when he...
He's a fucking genius.
Yo, that's hilarious.
Dude, that's how it goes. It's like, I would think that there would be more artists that would do that. Like their final swan songs, like, I'm going to go out doing a painting that I've never done before. And how I'm going to do is I'm going to blow my brains out with the canvas
here.
behind me and then sell it for millions of dollars. I don't understand why more artists haven't done that. I don't know.
They're trying to do the impossible. They want to get famous while they're here.
Yeah,
they want to be
what
so
it is.
good.
That's what it is.
People give a fuck while they're alive.
Yeah, and everyone, but there are like artists that, they never wanted praise, which is bullshit.
Oh yeah.
Which is bullshit. I think the only artist that never wanted praise was that poet Emily Dickinson. She was terribly depressed. She had no idea what she was doing. All she wanted was dick. And that's a different sort of praise. But all she wanted was balls in her face, and someone should have given that fucking sad bitch some dick. If she just wrote a poem that was like, why is there no dick in my face? Which has not been, released.
Well, how does she look? I remember
She's
Emily Dickinson.
all right. She's not the greatest looking chick.
There you go.
But if we're looking at the time, she wasn't grotesque. You know what I mean?
Everybody, she was okay for the era.
For the era, definitely. Everyone looked all plain Jane back then. You know what I mean?
I mean,
there was no like stunners, and even the stunners were dressed all conservative. Like you didn't fucking see any tits or ass back then. And even if you did, you had no idea what to do with it. It's like, I think a lot of people look back at those Victorian era people, or like, the 1920s. There was so much clothing that it was just like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm looking at.
I don't even know what's under there, man.
I don't even know what I'm looking at.
The boobs are propped up.
Yeah,
they had some kind of
dude.
fucking metal
The
wiring.
bustle in the back that makes your ass look fake and big.
I mean, shit. I guess times haven't changed that much.
No,
I don't
but no, we got real ass though. We got real ass and fake ass. But the ass like now
But
is
the clothing, like I go to the gym, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm sure you do too. So you see it. You see the asses aren't what you think they are.
no man.
It's the shorts.
Yeah, but those shorts are fucking.
They're amazing.
They're dope.
I love those shorts. What I'm saying is, it's crazy because like I actually didn't notice this until maybe a couple weeks ago. I was on Instagram and a girl did a post where she showed you her with the shorts on.
Yeah,
and she looks like everybody else in the gym.
sure.
And then she like pulled the shorts down.
Oh yeah, I did.
And
see
I was
that.
like, oh shit, that was all under the shorts.
Yeah,
what
dude.
the fuck? The
Dude.
shorts do everything.
Lies. Lies is what that is. You know what?
Fraudulent.
That is fraudulent, dude. There have been times, and I'm like, again, I'm not knocking anybody's body. This isn't body shaming at all. What I'm saying is I'm tired of the lies. I'm tired of the lies. There have been times where I have gone home with a lady and she has taken off that clothing. I'm like, where did all that come from?
Wow.
Where did that come from? And why aren't those there anymore?
Yeah.
You ever seen a chick take off a bra and you're like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah. Now they sitting on her knees.
That
Like,
bra
wait,
was doing a lot of heavy lifting here.
How did your titties get down?
How did that happen?
I actually seen a girl's breast one time. They were like literally sitting on her lap.
Wow.
Like just very huge. I couldn't believe it.
Now,
myself.
was that a turn on or a turn off?
I was drunk, so it didn't really. I just tried to keep it going.
Yeah, dude, I have been
I kept
there.
it neutral, man.
Dude, you push through.
Yeah.
You're already there. You know what I mean? Like if you go home with somebody and they take off their fucking bra and it's like, a dam breaking, you're like, I might as well be fucking sweep me the fuck away. All right, we got messages we need to listen to.
Messages? All right, let's go.
God damn. Yeah, man. The yoga pants technology,
Oh, that shit is dangerous.
it's
That's
wild.
worse than the AI. I think it's right up there.
Yeah, dude.
With the AI.
It's like who do we blame and thank for that? I don't even know.
I don't know who to blame for that. That's a question. I mean, but like you said, it's always been kind of a thing. Like there's always been some aspect of women projecting something that they don't have.
Yeah, but I guess guys kind of do that too. In some ways, I've seen those those compression shirts that now guys wear that are fucking wild. And there's now underwear that makes your dick look bigger.
Really?
Yeah,
what
dude.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Guys are catching up. Guys are trying to lie just as much,
just
dude.
As well.
We're trying to lie physically now, not just financially.
Yeah.
Not just financially.
I
We're changing
understand
the
it.
game.
We gotta be perfect for the robots.
Yeah, dude. I gotta impress these sexy ass fucking machines. All right, swing that goddamn message.
Yo, is it cool if you let yourself get bitten by a vampire if they play with your dick a little bit?
I didn't necessarily hear what he asked
He said
if you can get bitten by, but I did hear him ask is if it's cool if they play with your dick also.
He said, is it cool to get bitten by a vampire?
A vampire?
If they play with your dick for a little bit.
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes. I mean, that's because it wasn't, vampires usually bite you for selfish reasons. At least this one.
At least now they're like, you know what?
Let me give him something to.
I have been so selfish with my sustenance and being a fucking creature of the night, going out, ruining lives. I might as well fucking jiggle some balls a little bit.
I mean, I watched Twilight. I did.
Yeah.
There were a couple girls on there. I'm like, all right.
Oh, man, chick vampires, yeah. I would think that's how, well, I guess it's easier, for a chick vampire to bite you.
Yeah.
I would say.
She doesn't have to run as much.
No. If a chick vampire gave me, like, if any, like, really hot chick gave me the time of day and then started, like, kissing my neck, I'd be like, oh, yeah, hell yeah. Be like, fuck yeah. I'm immediately going to be bitten and consumed.
7 times out of 10, she could do that at the bar and nobody would stop.
Nobody would know.
Nobody would stop.
Nobody would stop it either. That's the thing. If you see a vampire dude biting a woman's neck at a bar, you're like, call the police right now. If you see a chick vampire biting, a guy could be screaming help, and they're like, oh man, he's a fucking kinky boy. He's trying to kink shame that chick. He's trying to kink shame her. As where a dude vampire just biting it. Then again, if I guess I would say, like, honestly, if I was being bitten by a vampire and it was a dude and I'm about to die and the last thing he does is jiggle my balls, I'd be like, oh no.
I tell you now.
I'd be like, no,
if you do that and you are a male vampire, when I become a vampire, I'm gonna kick your ass. We're gonna have a lot of beef when I become immortal because now I was violated. It is not okay.
Dude, you're outing sexual abuse in the vampire community.
Yeah, I'm out. Yeah,
he's like, he's a predator, not in the way that we're all predators. He's a sexual predator.
Every time somebody see me, like, why you look so mad? Don't worry about it. Where is that motherfucker James?
I'm coming after him. Why? Because I was going into becoming a vampire, and the last thing I remembered as the sun was setting is my dick being jiggled. It's like, it's fucking bullshit.
And I know that's not in the handbook. All right.
Yeah, that's not the vampire handbook.
Plenty of people never had to jiggle balls. It didn't make it work faster or nothing.
It didn't make it work faster. That would be funny if that was his whole excuse. Like, no, if you do that,
it gets the juices flowing.
It gets them, the blood flows more, and they become, look, I'm just trying to make an army of dead. If it's just, I know it's an old wives' tale, but I'm telling you, it does work. That's all it would take too. Is like if it worked one time, a vampire would probably believe it. It's like, yeah, I mean, the last time I bit this dude, I jiggled his balls. He became a vampire like
that.
Like that, dude.
It was instant. He got up. He was like, all right, let's go jiggle some balls.
You know what? It'd be funny if there was like, that is that's the MO of a straight vampire who's like, I'm just trying to make an army of the dead. But he bites you and starts jiggling your balls. And one time he starts doing the guy, he's like, oh. And he's like, oh, man. I'm not that type of vampire. I'm just trying.
Now he's looking for you for a whole nother reason.
He's like, where is that? Where is James? It's like, what? It's like, look, I told you I jiggled your ball to make you a fucking vampire faster. It's nothing more.
I wonder what movie this guy was watching when he thought of this question.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on. What kind of weird movie were you watching? Where you're like, you know what? I guess is it better if they play with my dick? You know? Because then again, this goes back to Kate Beckinsale. She played a vampire in that movie Underworld. And I'll tell you what.
Wait, Underworld, is she the main character?
She's the main character in Underworld.
Okay, all right, so thank you. I kind of know who she is.
She's hot.
All right, yeah.
She's hot. That's a vampire. If I was being attacked by a lady and I'm about to die and she's like, hey, just for the road. I'd be like, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that level. I think he was playing with his own balls while he was watching the vampire movie. And then it just kind of.
Yeah, I guess, you know,
the question just came up like, this is. A bite and a jiggle?
Yeah, that actually would be pretty dope right now. If someone was like sucking the blood out of my neck, and I was jiggling,
while the blood was flowing to my dick.
Oh, you know what would be crazy is if you had a boner and they bite your neck and you just watch your boner go into your like, it's like sucking at the end of a fucking freeze pop. It just like starts going down. It's like, oh no, that would be fucking awesome. God damn it.
Oh, shit.
Speaking of boners, I found out that this is a fun fact. I was under the impression that your dick would weigh more with a boner. It doesn't.
Wait a minute.
Think about that.
Wait a minute now. I
think about
when
it.
you say it, I don't believe you. I don't understand how that
So I
works.
looked it up. Your dick does not weigh more with a boner.
How though?
How?
Because there's more blood in
That's a
there.
great question. And the reasoning is what your dick is comprised of. Your dick is made up of spongy material that's almost like, think of your dick like the Titanic.
I tend to.
What, it's going to die on its maiden voyage? Is that why, Marcus? Did it die? Did you kill a bunch of Irish people? Did you die?
Took down a lot of Irish in my day.
Yeah. Oh, because your dick goes women and children first? Is that why? Is that why you think of your dick like Titanic?
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh, no.
Think women and children.
My dick is like the Titanic. No, it's because, oh man, it's because your dick is basically, it's a spongy material. When blood goes into it, it fills up like chambers that are almost like hollow. So like the blood is already in your
It's
dick.
all there already.
It's already there. It's just your dick is expanding.
That's interesting.
It is wild. Because I've thought there are times where I've held my boner in my hand. I'm like, this is a heavy boner.
I feel you.
You know what I'm saying?
You wouldn't think that. Like if you were just like that was a fucking I don't even know what show would ask that question. That was fucking Family Feud. I don't know. But if that was a question, Steve Harvey asking that question would be hilarious.
Show me heavy dick. It's like, damn it. Yeah, that's funny.
That
it's
is
funny because you think your dick would weigh more.
Who did that experiment? Who had the hypothesis? Who did the experiment? I just want to know who started
It's funny because there had to be a dude because if you go on Google and you ask it, it does
For
give you.
some reason, I'm just thinking of someone at a science fair with the trifold cardboard thing. Here's my hypothesis.
Yeah, because you can't just do one dick, right? That's science. You can't just do
Yeah,
one.
you definitely need a controlled dick.
Yeah, you can't.
You
just
need a
do
controlled
it
dick. And
and then be like, oh, well, mine weighs the same. No, you got to try at least 100.
No, you have to have at least 3.
At least, is that
And
the-
you also got to talk your boys into it. It's like, look, this is for science. Yo, bro, can you measure and weigh your dick, please? Why? It's like, look, I'm trying to figure out dicks weigh more when there's blood in them. Why? I don't know. I know someone's gonna ask this question.
I've been wondering this for a long time, man.
Yeah, it's like I'm asking the questions nobody has the balls to answer.
You got to have somebody patronize you in order to get that experiment.
Yeah, dude. That's and also I think that might have been a scientist who, had a sexual experience with a chick. And he was just like, yeah, my dick's going to weigh you down. She's like, actually, I don't think dicks weigh more. He's like,
My dick weighs.
I'm telling you right now, my dick is heavy.
tell you right now.
I have a back problem because of this motherfucker. I cannot walk around. I walk with a limp because of my heavy ass dick.
Somebody's gonna hear this and they're gonna go into Planet Fitness and like,
Oh man,
they're gonna stand on the
dude,
scale.
right now there are guys watching later who have a digital scale at their house.
They're gonna try it.
And they're gonna plop their fucking boner on it. I'm telling you.
Do it on the weed scale.
Do it
on the weed scale. Try it. I feel like that's more control. Man.
That's what I'm talking about. Do it on a digital scale, and you will be surprised.
Fish scales.
Yeah. No, you somehow want to have one of those fucking fruit scales at a grocery store. And you're just like, I'm trying to. What are you doing? Sorry.
It's science.
Look, I'm just saying my dick may weigh as much as this banana. I'm just trying to get. Please don't kick me out of this store.
This is science. I got a mask on.
This is science. If you show up in a lab coat holding your degree, like, this is what I have to do. I'm trying to fucking settle the age-old question whether or not your boner weighs more when it is a boner. I don't know why you guys are fucking chastising me. This is bullshit. We got one more message. God damn.
That was wild.
That was wild. I think we answered that very well.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Shaner? I'm kind of a new fan, but I just kind of wanted to get your take on this. About a year ago, I had to break up with this girl because I moved across the country, and she was legit the best girlfriend I've ever had, but she was kind of ugly, like not in a bad way. It's just like she had some acne on her face, stuff like that. But I think my new theory is that kind of ugly chicks that you find pretty make the best girlfriends. Because the girls that I've dated so far after that are just real difficult, and who knows? But I need your take on this. Is are ugly girls, do they make the best wife? That's kind of what I'm trying to figure out. Thanks, Shane. I love you, dude.
This is the most objective person I've ever heard from. Now, that is...
Man. Well,
do ugly girls that you think are pretty?
Yeah, that you think are pretty.
I think she's pretty, but I know everybody else thinks she's ugly.
It sounds like you got a complex, dude. Sounds like you should not care what other people think if you think someone's hot.
Cut that part out of the equation,
dude.
and you're fine.
That's like shallow Hal stuff, dude. Who cares?
We watched this movie already.
Yeah,
bro.
dude. If you think she's hot, who cares what anybody else thinks? Just fucking dick down and be happy. But... Yeah. I mean, I can't remember who sings the song, but it's if you want to be happy for the rest of your life, never make a pretty woman your wife.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
hey.
It's a very popular song. It was in the movie Mermaids with Cher. And Winona Ryder and Christina Ricci.
Hey, Winona Ryder.
Yeah, the Ryder, dude.
I know her.
And it's like, do I think that attractive women are more difficult than unattractive women? I will say this, man. I think women who know that they are attractive, actively knowing that they are, will, not always, but can exploit the fact that they are. And they will act like they can get whatever they want because they know they're hot. Do ugly women or... But then again, I also know some ugly women who think they're fucking hot shit too. It's
if this is the game you going to play, bro, you gotta be very, very specific with it. You gotta find you a ugly girl. I'm sorry, let me reverse it. You gotta find you a pretty girl that used to be ugly, but worked her way into being pretty.
Yeah, the ugly duckling, man.
But she doesn't have a complex about it. You gotta find that. That's a very, very small percentage of people.
You know where those girls are? California.
Really?
California. And the reason I know this is because when I went out there were chicks that were giving me the time of day that would never give me the time of day on the East Coast. But the thing is, out in California, all the chicks that are 10s are like out of control, unattainable, and that's what all the guys go for. They go for these unattainable women, but then there are like, chicks out there that are fucking smoke shows that are like, nobody pays attention to me.
Yeah, so if you just hang around that
if you just say hello, they're like, oh my God, who's this guy?
Oh, that's genius.
Dude, it's like shooting kids in a middle school. Real easy.
Oh, shit.
It's real easy. But yeah, it's you gotta. I would say, one, don't give a shit what anybody says. If you find somebody attractive, find them attractive.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying? Why would it matter? I've also found with girls that don't have a complex about them, or don't, girls that are like, oh, I'm too hot. It's like, I'm such a beautiful woman. Those chicks, they're not that fun in the bedroom.
no,
I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Well, it's like, you know that.
I do know that.
You know that. Because it's just like what's this OnlyFans shit?
Yeah.
Like, the really, really popular, really pretty girl, she's probably not doing shit on there.
Nah, dude.
She's probably not doing shit on there.
She's not doing shit on there, and that's because she's so hot, she doesn't have to do anything.
All she got to do is get in a bikini.
Yeah.
And y'all will give her
And don't get me wrong,
$35 a month.
I'm all about that. You can be hot, get in a bikini, show a little bit of skin, but the chicks that are like, that are 6s and 7s, those are the chicks that are inserting stuff.
Yeah, it got
know what
to
I'm
stay
saying?
right there in the middle. You can't.
Yeah,
Too ugly is disappointing. Too pretty is disappointing. You just got to right in the middle.
But it's funny because I've met people, and I'm not gonna say who they are, but I've met people who have like wives and girlfriends that have been like longtime girlfriends, wives for years, who I would never say are attractive.
Yeah.
I would never say are good looking ladies, but they love them.
They love them.
They love them. They love those people. And I've dated women. I've hooked up with women where I can say there's like at least 3 that I know of that I can say that they weren't unattractive, but looks aren't everything. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They had a great personality. They were really, they actually were, not just had a sense of humor, they were funny.
Right.
And it's like, damn, that is fucking tight. We get along great. Sure, you're not burning anything down, but you also do some wild ass shit in the bedroom, which makes you even hotter. If you're a 5, what would you rather have? What would you rather have? A 10 that is very almost a dead fish in the bedroom, or a 5 with no gag reflex.
What do you mean a 5? Let's talk about what a 5 means.
A 5 is half a 10.
Half a 10.
So she's not the greatest looking, but she's not the worst looking. She's right there in the middle, but with no gag reflex.
Average, cute. Okay,
yeah. Cute girl.
I'm going for the 5.
Of course you are.
I'm going for the 5 because this is the thing, right? Like with a 10, even though she's a dead in the bed, you still got to fight for that. Like you still got to fight to keep that.
Yeah.
She's going after the top 8, 9, 10s in the guys.
Yeah.
In the guys league. So yeah.
But that's the thing too, is I found with it's funny on the other side of that coin. I've met girls that chicks that are my friends that they've talked about dudes they've dated, and I've seen the dudes they dated, and they are they're just these weird statuesque, borderline model type guys, and I'm like, oh, that must have been cool. She's like, dude, it was the worst sex I've ever had in my life. And it's because I don't think those guys have to try very hard at all. You know what I mean? And that sucks.
Well, I mean, a lot of guys, I can't say a lot of guys. Yeah. Well, there are a lot of guys that go get that statuesque body.
Sure.
I guess to make up for something else. It's like I'm not getting girls for one reason or another.
Yeah.
Let me get muscles.
Yeah.
I'll get more girls. But then when it gets down to the
dude, but what's the point? You know what I'm saying? Well, what's the point? If you're gonna be a jack dude, I'm not knocking you. If you're gonna be a jack dude, be a jack dude. But in my head, because in my head I'm like, what can I do to get pussy? And what can I do to keep that pussy coming back? If I'm not good at fucking, what is the point of that?
What's the point?
What is the point
Go learn how to fuck.
Yeah.
You can actually do that. That's not
It's not impossible.
It's not out the game. You can go learn how to fuck.
You can definitely learn how to fuck.
Or get you one girlfriend and learn how to fuck her. And then you will be A-okay in the game.
And
you don't have to,
dude, you're exactly right.
But I do like that this guy kept it real with himself. He didn't say that pretty girls were an option.
No.
He was like, listen, do I find an ugly girl that's this or an ugly girl that's that? I don't.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that are beautiful women more difficult? Sometimes they are. Are ugly women more difficult? Yeah, sometimes they fucking are.
Women are difficult. I'm be honest with you.
Women
about
are
that.
difficult.
It ain't.
If it's not, it doesn't matter what type of fucking, like, don't get me wrong. There are some women who are real stuck up, but I've also, and they are beautiful, but I've also met real stuck up bitches who are fucking, what happened to you? You know what I mean? Like, there are some women that I'm like, what accident? What fucking reactor fucking happened and blew up near your face?
Oh, have you ever come across an ugly rich girl?
Oh my God.
Just because they're rich, they do believe they're hot.
I do know what you're talking about, yeah.
Dude.
I've seen this.
Uggo rich is a crazy thing.
That's a wild combination.
It is.
It's wild.
Because there are guys who are like, there are guys who are gold diggers just like fucking chicks are gold diggers, and they'll fucking put up with whatever just to get a piece of whatever fortune or fucking security.
Well, that's in adulthood though. All your complexes are developed in your childhood.
Sure.
And rich or not, kids, like when kids start having sex with each other, the high school age, whatever, guys won't have sex with you just because you're rich. It's just like, all right, I don't care if she's rich or not.
That is true.
I'm not trying to be caught fucking the ugly girl.
No, yeah.
So she's going to grow up being a rich ugly girl that just has this.
That she didn't get any dick until she fucking got into her 30s.
Yeah, until guys got broke.
Until guys like, I hate my job. I really do not like my job. I'm going to fuck fucking, what is her name? Belladonna Versace. Have you ever seen that chick? Fucking wild looking. She looks like Janice from fucking Electric Mayhem's face melted. She looks like a Muppet gone rogue, dude. It is not good. And I'm not knocking you. I'm not going after you.
Exactly what you just did.
I'm just saying, look, you were not aesthetically pleasing to me. I'm not saying that you didn't have a illustrious career, developing clothing and, fashion and what have you. I just think that you are not attractive in any way.
You got to say that to women too, because once you say one bad thing to them, they attribute that to everything else they do.
No.
I have a good job.
No.
And I take care of my family. It's like, I just said you were ugly.
I just said you were ugly.
I just said you were ugly. That was it. It wasn't, I said nothing about your personality. I'm sorry.
That is so funny. That is so funny. Yeah, that is right. If you're just like, look, you're ugly. It's like, don't talk to me. I pay my bills. It's like, no, we know. I'm not saying you don't.
I'm not saying you're not an upstanding citizen.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're not even a hero. Like, you could have been you could have rescued people from a fire. But I'm still saying you look like you got trapped in that fire. You do not look good. But it's like one of those, it's so funny. But I don't think, if a chick were to say like, yo, Shaner's unattractive, I don't think I'd be like, yeah, but I can pay my bills. I'd be like, man, I fucking suck, dude. I would immediately be so much more devastated by that. I wouldn't try to build myself up with my finances. You know what I mean?
I'm more of a let it go type guy. I had a girl in college tell me she would have had sex with me, but she didn't like my voice. And I was like, you mean I could have had sex with you? Like, that's all I needed. I was like, oh, you would have had sex with me?
What a fucking cock tease.
I let it go.
What an asshole.
It's somebody else.
Dude, I had talked about it before. And this is the most recent thing that's happened to me. I was in New York. I did a show at the Stand, and I was at the bar, and after the show, there was this beautiful woman on the other end of the showroom.
Right.
And she made a point to make eye contact with me, wave, and then come over to me and tell me that I was really, really funny and I got everything going on except for that height.
Oh,
and then she left.
What the fuck?
She made a point to do that. That was what was so crazy about it. It's like, dude, you didn't even need to talk to me.
Yeah, you could have left me alone.
You could have left me alone. You had me at the top of the fucking mountain and you fucking Spartan kicked me the fuck off of it. It's like, you didn't need to do that, you bitch.
Yeah, you could have told your friends that.
You know the worst. You know what the worst part is? I couldn't even be like, you ugly. I couldn't even be like, you're fucking ugly. It's like, no, she was fucking
I'd have been
goddamn
like, fuck
gorgeous.
you. That's it. That's it. I'd have just,
I did, but you know what it was? I was holding 2 beers and I didn't even know how to respond. I was like, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. She walked away. And then she made a point to go over, finish her drink, and then leave. That was the last thing she was doing before she was there.
yeah,
It wasn't like she went back to talk to her friends and
stayed
even
to
glowed
make sure
about it.
you knew.
She's like, hey, I know that guy might be feeling good about everything going on right now, but I'm about to fucking just...
Yeah, she's like a golden eagle, man. You ever see golden eagles?
No, what a golden eagle.
Golden eagles, man. They wait until baby goats get to the top of the mountain, and then they go grab them by the horns and drop them off the mountain so they can eat them. So yeah,
That's awesome.
she went.
That is awesome.
That's exactly how they.
Wait a minute. So you're telling me there's a bird just like sitting, just like, all right. Ooh, I like what you did there. You're almost there. And now it's time to ruin your day completely.
Yep, they just circle it and wait for them to
Dude.
get high enough.
And then just pick them up with that horns and then drop. That's fucking awesome. What a bitch, though. Man, imagine then again, if she had told me that, and much like a golden eagle shot me and killed me, I wouldn't even be mad. I would be like, that would be...
She really didn't like my height.
Dude, if she just hated it that much, she's like, man, she really fucking hates short dudes.
I mean, yeah.
I wouldn't even be mad.
I don't know if that's a thing girls would like if somebody did to them, but
No.
why do you do that to people? Don't tell somebody that you would have
Dude,
fucked them.
that would, let's put it this way. Even if a guy were to be so bold as to be like, yo, I would have had sex with you, you're already fucked up. You're already fucked. If a guy were to be like, yo, I would have had sex with you, but you got too much weight going on. You're fucked. Or like, you're too short for me.
I don't like your dress.
I don't like you. Yeah, I don't like you got everything going on except for them heels. It's like, sorry, I don't fuck around with the Steve Madden. Those are fucking gross. Yeah, that guy would be blown up on fucking social media
She would
and
go off
destroyed.
right there.
She'd go off. She'd be like, yeah, you fucking ugly. You fucking
Yeah.
fuck you. I don't fucking need your shit. And it's like, you're right, because that guy, it's like, that's the negging thing. And that someone even brought that up. Like, maybe she was trying to neg you, like trying to give you a negative compliment where you'd be like, yeah, well,
That would make sense if she didn't walk off. Like, what were we supposed to chase
that's
her?
the difference.
Yes.
If she stuck around and like was trying to bust my chops or whatever, it would be different. She literally went back and finished her drink and then bounced.
Did. Like, all right, I said it.
You
Fine.
fucking bitch. But then again, if she came up and was like, you know what, you got everything going on except for that height, and then bit me in the neck like a vampire and then played with my balls.
Jiggled your balls
it
a
would
little
be
bit.
fucking fine. That's the way it would go. This has been the End Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Marcus, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks for bringing
Make
me.
sure you call the hotline, 833-443-5300. We'll address any comment, question, or concern you have about the show. Maybe even some vampire shit. We're going to switch it over to Patreon. Thank you.